Welcome to the hottest movie review on the internet today, the A-List Review. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Troop, and it's time to go back to the theater. And this is a film that I've heard a lot of interesting things about over the last week, but I have to see it for myself. Will it be a sleeper hit, or is it as bloody awful as everybody's saying it is? My review of the 2022 superhero film, Morbius, coming up now. Dr. Michael Morbius, a biochemist, is trying to find a cure for the rare blood disease that he and his best friend Milo suffer from. After an experiment gone wrong, Michael finds himself transformed into a vampire. So what did I think of Morbius? I thought it's a lame superhero film. It's directed by Daniel Espinosa, best known for directing the films Safe House, Child 44, and Life. This, of course, isn't part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but another entry in the so-called Sonyverse, along with the Venom films, which is set in the same universe as this. Their attempt of making the Spider-Man villain spin-off universe feels desperate and weak, and reminds me of Universal's failed Dark universe. It was also pushed back numerous times from the last few years, and I can easily see why. First off, the CGI looks awful here, and the action sequences look bad as well, with a number of odd slow-motion choices in the few action sequences that we do get. It kind of gives off the vibe of a superhero film that would have been released in the late 90s or early 2000s, rather than today, when comic book movies rule the box office. Overall, I felt this as a boring film with very little fun or excitement throughout, sometimes making it a rather miserable experience. The story is 100% predictable, where you can see every turn coming a mile away. There's so many cliches, tropes, and plot holes, and with as many superhero origin movies we've seen in the last few years, we've seen these ideas done so much better before. The whole project feels very much unneeded, as Morbius' origin story could have been told in a different Spider-Man film as a 5-minute flashback, rather than a full-length feature film. The movie's tone jumps around as it tries to be dark and take itself very seriously, and when it tries its attempt at humor, it feels very out of place. The few jokes that there are fall flat, although there definitely is some unintentional laughter, mostly coming from some random dancing from Milo. It tries its hand at romance as well, where there's no chemistry, and it mostly just feels cringeworthy. The pacing is all over the place, and thankfully the runtime is under 2 hours. I also didn't end up caring about any of the characters, whether it be the dull side characters or even the dreary doctor himself. There's 2 after-credit scenes as well, both of which feature something that was spoiled in the trailers, so even that is lackluster. The cast stars Jared Leto giving a wooden performance as Dr. Michael Morbius, the scientist suffering from a rare blood disease who instead of curing himself turns into a vampire. Matt Smith as Milo Morbius, Michael's surrogate brother suffering with the same blood disease. Adria Arjona as Martine Bancroft, a scientist and Michael's love interest. Jared Harris as Dr. Emil Nicholas, Michael and Milo's mentor and father figure. And Tyrese Gibson and Al Madrigal as Simon Stroud and Alberto Rodriguez, FBI agents on Michael's trail. Morbius is an uninspired and instantly forgettable comic book flick with barely any bite. Number-wise, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10, which gives it the A-list rating of, "Hey Morbius, I only got 2 words for ya. Suck it." Alright, well that's the show. I'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/westtroupaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter the Instagram, and Letterboxd at Wes A List. Until next time, Troop out.